Tonight we're going to talk about aliens and little orange men. No, I'm not talking about space, folks. I think we should focus on immigration, emigration, the wall, and all about all those foreigners crawling into our country, taking our jobs, ruining everything. That's right. Talking about Canadians.
So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. With taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content, and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles. All right, we're back at it. So you're sporting the America's Stars and Stripes, maybe? Oh, yeah, America. Fuck yeah. America.
Doves. Nothing more American than a bunch of doves.
This
As
supposed
John
to be eagles.
Woo. No, I think they're doves.
I think they're going
As
extinct,
John
right?
Woo puts in all his movies. I mean, that's pretty American.
Yeah. Even the last
Can you
name,
get any more
Woo.
American than like? Can you get any more American than like Tom Cruise shooting guys in Mission Impossible 2 and doves flying everywhere?
No. That's fantastic.
Okay. Sure is.
So,
So we're joining us here today to talk a little bit about all the burning questions that people at home have. It's about everything.
every
Immigration
single
stuff.
thing.
Every single thing. It's
But
like a lot.
The wall, Trump, his promises, a little government shutdown sprinkled in there, a little immigration. We're talking about who's in this country right now. Where are they? What are they doing? Stop doing that.
ICE. Tune in, ICE. I know I've sent you guys a few tweets lately. Tune into the Unpanders. Thanks for following.
Those silly children trying to cross the border. How dare
Silly
they?
children. DACA, DACA, DACA.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So-
So where do we really start this one? What immigration is? I don't know. Did you
No.
Wikipedia it? That's my favorite way to start an episode is a Wikipedia.
I'm going to shut this thing down. I'm going to do it my way. Let's start the shutdown because
You
it's
sound
happening
like
right
the
now.
president. Do you have any stats on the shutdown?
I think it's been like 26 days right now. And
You're dating this episode.
I'm going to actually
Okay.
release this one early, I think.
Ooh, nice.
Special. Like
Special
nightly
episode.
news. Nightly news.
Can't believe people are checking this out right now. This is awesome.
So Trump made a
So-
promise to
Mhm.
secure our borders and build a wall that Mexico will pay for. And Mexico said nah. And then so Trump got I think last shutdown he got like 1 point something billion to build a wall or something. No one knows.
1.3 billion is being offered right now by the House of Representatives. Yeah,
Oh.
that is correct.
I mean, I wish I could ask for something for a wall. And be like, give me billions. I'm not
Do you know what he's asking for?
5.7
billion.
I thought it was
No, I had
7.
6. It's going up. Holy smokes, folks.
Every day, I'm gonna tack another $100,000 on this wall.
Hmm.
Do you think he
So
could
did
climb a
you-
wall? Like, how tall of a wall? Could he, like 3 foot? Do you think he could climb over a 3-foot wall?
I could.
But could he?
Oh no, I don't. Think I don't. It would have to be waist high so that he could just lean and fall over. I don't think there's any climbing.
Belt
going
buckle
on.
high. He just
Yeah,
rolls
it has
over.
to be belt buckle high.
It also has to have like a nice angle on the back so he could just roll.
slope. Nice slope.
Yeah.
Did you know what that money is for? Actually,
No
I had an article
idea.
that broke it down. So, 5.6 billion. It gets real complicated because the government doesn't spend all the money they get allotted each year.
Hmm.
So in 2017, they were given $341 million for maintaining and building wall repair. Like, because there is existing walls between us and Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
So of this money, they didn't spend it all yet, but they're asking for more this year. Because usually what happens with government spending is you have to spend it or else you might not get that much the next year.
Gotta hurry
So
up and
they're
spend
already
it.
probably getting the 341 million right now. Um, there's also other deals in place where they're getting more money, and they probably have enough money to enact most of the wall or start building stuff. But if they don't ask for this 5.6 billion, they won't get it. I know that sounds stupid and like commonsensical, but they probably have enough money to do most of it, some of it, start cutting jobs elsewhere, but they want fresh money to do this job specifically for them. And it gives them a cushion because apparently metal from out of the country is being taxed absorbently by the president.
See, this is my there's I guess there's two things. There's the wall that exists now. Most of it was built, I think, in the George Bush era in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to secure our borders like Trump is doing, and I think he did it strategically, like a smart person would do it. And I don't know how much he spent, but it seems mildly effective. Also, steel. So I think one of the things that Trump is also trying to do is reinvigorate maybe United States steel, coal. Maybe he's got friends, like kickbacks, tied up in this deal, so he gets
might.
something in return later on for letting people build a wall with lots of money.
You could be onto something there. Another thing to consider is that when we talk about a wall between us and Mexico, do you know how many miles of wall they're talking about?
Ooh, I like this one. So there's Great Wall of China. How long is that?
I actually don't know.
I think it's 2,100 miles. So
Okay.
2,100 miles.
Mm-hmm.
The border is like 2,000 miles.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really long
That's
border.
interesting.
It'd be
Cool.
the second longest wall in the world if it was actually continuous.
Interesting, because do you know what the 5.6 billion is for? Because it's not for the entire border between Mexico and the United States. It's for 216 miles of wall.
Where
That's
did
it.
you find that stat?
It was in a Vox article that really broke it down. So it's written into the bill that in a request for money, they want to build new wall in Rio Grande Valley. I'm not sure where that one was, but it's 104 miles of wall.
So
Okay.
most of the problems that come with immigration happen in the Rio Grande Valley. I think it was like 80% of the people that come in through the Rio Grande.
Makes sense.
It's because it's spotted with little communities. It was Mexican at one time, and those communities, if they're walled off, they're either Mexican, cartel owned, or U.S., and most of them are like right on the water. It's like McAllen, I think, is right on the water and has an issue. Also, I'm in Houston, and you hear about things in the Rio Grande Valley, like if you have, you can get like house sitters that are immigrants because they have nowhere to go.
They need money.
Yeah, they look for water really because it's like it's freaking hot. It's almost a desert down there. So it's it's sort of a problem. I've heard of it from other people, but I don't think that I like being like the largest metropolitan city close to the border with like Houston has like 3 million people in it. Like I don't see Houston as like extreme poverty because of immigrants. Like there are probably immigrants here, and I might have immigrants like doing my grass. I'm not saying whether they do or not. I don't know, but I don't.
Who knows?
I don't think they're
Folks,
harmful.
who knows? Dan doesn't pay them anyway. He writes them bad checks.
Sue
What
me
are they
in
gonna
court.
do? Take them to court? Anyway.
Social Security number right next to it.
104 miles of wall in Rio Grande Valley. 27 miles of wall in Yuma, which is near Arizona. I think southern Arizona.
Yep.
14 miles in El Centro, which is eastern California. 55 miles of wall in Laredo, which is West Texas. 5 miles of wall in San Diego. And 9 miles in El Paso, Texas. All I'm getting at is that it's interesting. It's not like a continuous wall that runs from like sea to shining sea, which is what I thought. It's just, I don't know. It's very weird. And involved in all this, no one talks about eminent domain, where if they need to build a wall, that's on property. It's existing property. They can't just build a wall and just say, we're splitting your property. So the government has to grab certain domain. What is it called?
Eminent domain. It's like if they're building a highway, it's for the good of the country, good of the populace to take over your house because it's in the way. Same thing with the wall.
So they make you sell it, essentially. Do they always give you fair value? Is there stories where they don't? I have no idea.
I think you can hold off for as long as possible, but then it like goes to court. It goes like to an arbitrator who decides how much your property's worth. Which might, if you're the last person, it might work out in your favor. They did this in Philadelphia for one of the highways, the one that goes by King of Prussia Mall, the one that ends at the Nabisco plant. I think maybe 422.
Oh no, the Woodhaven Road.
Yeah, it stops abruptly and then you make a left. That's because the people in that neighborhood that were right behind that, in the path of it, fought it and won. So the highway ends right at their neighborhood, just like, oh, side street, you're off the highway now. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That's like Route 1 and 95-ish, right by Woodhaven Road. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. And if you roll your windows down, it smells like cookies.
It's fantastic. I always try to drive by there.
Do you know it doesn't anymore?
Because they shut it down and made, what, craft cheese or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Smells like puke.
Speaking of orange.
Wait. So you said 216 miles of wall for 5.7 billion-ish?
So you're going to break down my
per foot?
Now it's also...
Per foot of wall. That's like almost like $4,000 to $5,000 a foot of wall.
I think rolled into that cost, though, is like people to maintain it, repairs on existing parts, workers, labor. But still, what is that per foot? $4,000 a foot?
$4,000 a foot. So we didn't talk about what exists now, like the type of wall. Like there's it's called a bollard wall, which is like, I guess like beams. They look like they're metal because they're rusted. I think they are about 16 or 18 feet high, and they go 6 feet into the ground.
Wait, they're the ones that exist?
The bollard walls, there's like 3 different types. So there's like the bollard wall, which is
steel
for people.
Spike.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's also like
Donnie tweeted out a picture of it, which weirdly enough had like the Jurassic Park van in the picture. Did you see this?
I have to look at this one. Let me see if I can bring this.
Look it up while I get into it. But anyway, it's a steel slat barrier. The idea was originally Trump promised that Mexico would pay for a wall that was entirely concrete and X amount of feet high, except that realistically, Border Patrol agents and people of the like want to know what's going on the other side of the wall. So it would make sense to make ones with steel slats that were so close together that people couldn't fit through.
Huh.
This does not prohibit drugs from going through.
They can just hand it off to the guy.
I mean, they can literally just walk up to the border and hand it over. As Dan's checking for this picture, do Trump picture steel slat wall. Then he called it steel slat. I believe he used those words.
I got to do some magic to get... There we go.
But in the picture, it was like the Jurassic Park van or Jeep. And I don't know why it's in there. But like, crack me up.
I can get... Oh, man. I'm failing so hard at this. Oh, it's locked. That's why. I got it. Oh, boom.
Well, that's the whole reason for this shutdown.
Yeah, look at that. Design of our steel slat barrier, which is totally effective while at the same time beautiful.
Totally effective. While at the same time beautiful. It's not beautiful. It's not, I mean, it's steel slats. I wouldn't have used that adjective, beautiful.
He's also talking about the existing wall, which I don't think he's talked about very much, but he says it's totally effective and beautiful. Like I can't tell if he's being sarcastic because it is effective. It's like 20 feet high.
Knows. Totally effective and beautiful.
And
that's what I say about my wife, folks.
She's totally effective. So
and beautiful, of course.
Like on the West Coast, like all the barriers that we have on that side, like there's a lot. Like it covers most of the country on the west side. So that's why the immigration rate on the east side is so high, because there's like spotty. And also, like, who wants to go to California? That place sucks. No, just kidding.
I was like, California would be awesome. That's where people go in.
But there's also 2 different types of walls that I didn't cover. There's certain parts of the country, like in the middle, near like El Paso and New Mexico and all those areas that are just like Big Bend, like the western part of Texas or deserts. It makes no sense to build a wall there. So I guess that's why there's only 200 miles of wall, because you're not going to survive if you have to walk 10 miles in a desert to find somebody.
What do you do when you find someone? Just ask them for, can I stay here? I don't know. I need to stay for like 3 days. I don't. What do you at? I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I think you ask for food and water first because you're about to die.
Okay.
And then
if they give it to you.
Have you ever seen like Border Patrol? It's like join the Border Patrol, and you have like helicopters, you have like amphibious vehicles and like everything.
Yeah, everything looks
Border
cool.
Patrol,
It's
Border
like cutting edge. Yeah, sure.
And then the realistic part is like a homely guy holding a blanket, thing of water. He's like, "Come here, all right, come here. Let's go get you checked in."
Throw 80 rounds in them. Actually, what's the crime?
Crime.
It's obviously a crime, but what is it? No. If you gun down illegal immigrant.
Not if you're crossing the border illegally?
No, if they are. And they gun them down. Where does that go to court? Anywhere?
I don't know. Is it illegal? I guess
you can't murder someone no matter who they are, but
if they're not
how does the court
a citizen
and they were entering illegally, and you saw that little 4-year-old girl eating that bread, and you just thought, and gunned her down, what would happen? Maybe they would hold that guy accountable and like take $100 out of his paycheck or something.
I don't know. We're gonna have to look at this one. We get detail about crimes. We should do one about crimes that are unpunishable,
committed by immigrants,
or like the ones that like are part of like a political environment that. Okay, so there's a backstory about this one. That's what I'm thinking about. Is there was a town, a very small town, where somebody was being a bully, and that person was just bullying everybody because they were malicious. And the entire town knew that person was a bully and was doing terrible things to people, like harming people. That person who was doing awful things, the bully, was killed in the middle of the town with like hundreds of people around, and they interviewed everybody. Nobody saw a damn thing. So we need to talk about something like that.
Story. Was that in like the 1800s though?
No, I think it was kind of recent actually. I think it was like 30 years ago.
That's not that recent.
I think it was like a Netflix special. I think that's why you know
Interesting.
Anyway, you were talking about crime?
Yeah.
Get all those terrorists and rapists and murderers?
Yeah, all of them.
All those.
That's every immigrant that comes into our country is a rapist. It's proven.
Yeah. So the immigrants that come into our country, half of them are Mexican because I guess it's because they're close and their economy sucks.
I had a number on that actually. So illegal immigrants, they estimate 11 million come into this country.
11 million are here. I think.
Oh, are here. Whoa, you did have the number. Thank you. And then that's 3% of the population, correct?
Yeah, significant. It's a significant amount.
6 million of those are from Mexico. So when you said half, it's just over half.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Did you know 8 million of the 11 are working here?
That's a significant number. That's pretty damn good.
5% of the workforce.
5% of the workforce, really?
Mm-hmm. I had another number, but I don't know what it applies to, so who knows?
We're going to talk about farming jobs because they take up like half of those are farming jobs, and then like the other half, like there's like farming, manual labor, housekeeping, and then jobs, quote unquote, Americans don't want to do from Mexican uneducated immigrants.
Sure.
So that's immigration from Mexico through maybe illegal means. We didn't talk about how they're getting here. I don't know if you want to go there yet.
Go ahead, because I didn't actually have a lot on that.
So you can get a visa for a period of time to stay here. It's like a tourist visa, or like I guess it's educational or a work visa, and you can overstay that. So a large portion of them are actually overstayed visas. It's like 30% or something like that. It's like that's high.
All right. So, did you know the Immigration Naturalization Act, the INA, allows a certain number of immigrants to come into this country and become
asylum seekers?
Citizens?
Oh, citizens?
No. Well, that's a subset of this group. 675,000 immigrants can come into this country and stay every year.
65,000?
675,000.
675,000. That's a lot.
And they become legal citizens. Hold on. They break it down. Family-based immigration. You know how you always see the movie, the rom-com, where it's like, if you fall in love and you marry me, I can stay here. And they don't love each other, but then they fall in love or something?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds, Sandra Bullock, I'm looking at you. Celebrity Challenge. If you guys come on here. and you can get married on our podcast for real, I will marry another immigrant and keep them here. And Dan is already married.
I'm taken. Sorry.
But he will adopt a child and legally bring them to America.
Yeah, to marry somebody else.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
come on board. I want to see you guys come in here with your smiling faces. I want to just marry someone and let them stay in this country. So, but it's called family-based immigration, and your spouse, your child, your parent, you're actually allowed an unlimited number of immediate spouse, immediate children, immediate parents to come over. But employment-based immigration, which is they allow 140,000.
H2B?
It might be two.
Might be two.
It's 140,000 of them a year are allowed here. It's persons of extraordinary ability in arts, science, education, athletics, or business.
Business.
That's like how our scientists get here. Like, do you know how like Einstein was always like, oh, he was in Germany this year?
Yeah.
You totally just give this guy a thing where he's like, hey, you're a great scientist, come to our country. Hey, you're an amazing artist, come to this country. Hey, you're the best basketball player in the world. Guess what? You don't even have to apply for anything.
Visa.
Let's go.
Here you go. Citizenship.
Boom, 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 boom.
Signed.
Right.
Here you go.
There's per country ceilings on all these rules too. Like if you're from Afghanistan or something like that, they might only allow 20,000 Afghanis.
5.
Oh, you have the actual number?
No, I don't. No, I just messed with
Oh, geez. I was cracking up. I was like, oh my God, it's 5.
And
but they have a cap. So you might be a perfectly capable person candidate and you're like really good and you're handsome and you got all your paperwork filled. Sorry, we reached our quota. You're out.
Do you think they like span that out over the year? It's like only one guy this month. Next month, nobody. Come back around March, maybe? We got one guy.
We got a guy, but he can't play piano like you. You should definitely come over here again. Refugees and asylees, which has become a hot topic.
Yeah.
They allow 85,000 a year into this country, which is not a lot. I mean, it is a lot, but over the whole country, it's not for a full year. It's persecuted people, whether they're persecuted for their religion, their faith, their color of their skin, they're driven out of their country, they have no home. Recently, Donnie has been making it hard for these people to get in here.
Yep. He's trying to reduce the number of people.
Correct. And he's also increased the number of days they have to stay outside the country. So, like, you're allowed in, but you have to wait. Right now from Syria, it's 120 days. Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
It's like in 4 months. Yeah. Good luck with your food and water. I'll let you in 4 months when everything's hunky-dory.
So there's part of this that's like apprehensions on the border. And apprehensions have actually gone down over time. And they have breakdowns of like people by family and individuals. Like if you have like young individual male, like they have a stat for that. So they say that even though it's gone down, I don't know what the peak is, I'll find that out. Even though it's gone down over the past like 5 or 6 years, that the number of families that are seeking asylum over the border, like by the border, is gone up. It's gone up by like a dramatic rate. It's like 5-fold. So the people that are actually trying to come here as an entire family, I don't think they're, they might be uneducated, but I don't think they're harmful. And they're probably fleeing some like gang warfare or like destabilized
cartels
countries.
or countries that are falling apart as we speak.
And it is part of, I think, the Geneva Convention to say that you have to accept refugees in your country if they're I forget what the term was. It was like not
in
genuine
danger,
fear.
eminent danger.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's eminent danger.
Oh, fear of.
Oh, damn it! What's the term?
God damn it! I literally saw it. Fear of persecution. Fear of.
No. We'll come back to this.
We won't come back, folks. It's over. We missed the moment. It's over. If you're an immigrant, keep trying. Do you know why they're called green cards?
So wait, total apprehensions in 2018, about 400,000 people in the Rio Grande Valley. This was. I think this is all.
Okay.
No, this is the whole border. Yeah, 400,000 people. 2018 total apprehensions, and then the Rio Grande is 63,000 of that. I don't know what FMU got. Wait. 160,000. So sorry, 160,000. 100 grand. So it's like half. It's like half of them. Sorry, inserted that because I found it. It popped up.
That's fine. Do you know there's another group of people who are allowed in this country? Businessmen who have invested over $500,000 to $1 million into American jobs.
Oh, this is
Isn't that crazy? It's just like, hey, if you just gave us $1 million, you could live here. Like, it's essentially what that is.
They do that
It's
for development near me. There was supposed to be this like district that was supposed to be really like retail and fancy and waterfalls and all sorts of crazy stuff, and that failed. Like last recession, just
of course it did.
But a Chinese firm came in and they decided that they wanted to live here, so they donated a whole bunch of money to build their project, which is part of a business, and I think that gives them the right to come here and live here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the definition of what you just said, right? You got $1 million?
Yes, it is.
No problem. You're wealthy.
Come on over here.
We got no problem who you are.
How about children who are apprehended at the border? They're not even 16 yet.
Do they have $1 million?
They do not. These poor goddamn children. These dirty, dirty, poor children with no money. What are we going to do with them?
I don't know. They get separated
it's called
from
the deferred
their
action.
Oh, DACA?
Yeah, deferred action for childhood arrivals. They allow them to stay for up to 2 years. Everything has to be renewed at that point. They can be adopted. They can be taken in. They can be taken care of. I have no idea. Did you know U.S. citizenship awarded through green cards? Everyone makes the joke, green card. You got a green card? You get a green card? It's an alien registration receipt card, and it used to be printed on green paper.
Really? That's why it's called green. And to insert asylum seekers, it is have left their country or unwilling to return because of the suffered past persecution or a well-founded fear of future persecution. So avoidance of persecution.
Oh my god. Persecution. Yeah. Persecution. Boom.
Boom. That was the word.
Makes sense to me.
Verbiage. DACA? You're going DACA?
No, that was just... Yeah,
green card?
That's where I went. Green card, DACA.
Can we get back to the roots of our country?
Where did I was born in America, so that's where we all came from.
How many generations ago? I think I'm like 3 generations now. Actually, I'm only
my grandparents were all born here. Their parents on one side were all... No. Yeah. On her side, both. On her side, both. I guess there's 4 on each side. I don't know that far, but yeah. A lot of my relatives, a lot of my great-grandparents were born outside this country.
My grandparent, one of them was Canadian. And then my dad is technically... I think he was born in Canada, citizen? But I don't know if he's a dual citizen still.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's a skin crawl. Dual citizens. Jesus. How dare they choose which country they live in? Oh.
Best of both worlds, folks. Not necessarily.
I think he has full citizenship now. But it's...
Okay.
We don't want to talk about that. But it's funny because this country, 200 and some years ago, was founded as a country of immigrants. We're like here.
The most immigrant-y country ever.
Yeah, what was it? You're poor, you're tired, you're huddled masses.
Who said that? George?
I think that might have been George.
That's weird. I don't know who said that. Give us your poor, you're huddled, you're in the huddle, you're doing the huddle. It's a football huddle. Is it 2-minute warning? I think it's a drill. 25 seconds to get back to the line. You can spike the ball if you have to. You can take a delay a game. How many delay games can you get in a row? Can you get 4 in a row?
Is that too many delay games? That's too many. I think.
Give me your poor. I think it's a writer. It's not George.
Yeah, it's not. It's So it's the Wikipedia entry is called the New Colossus, which I guess was part of the Statue of Liberty. It's like Emma Lazarus wrote the sonnet. Which is weird. I've never heard of the New Colossus. Except
I have, but I couldn't
name it by name. Mm-mm. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. That's Statue of Liberty right there, baby.
Golden door? What's that?
It's the gateway
kind of
into
cult?
America. Golden
Okay,
country
okay.
of ye and
So what
your.
is it with Ellis Island?
I don't know where you're going with that.
You have to check in there? Like, is that a rule or is that like a joke?
You
Or
just
is that like
open up
a
Foursquare
trope?
and just, I've been here and you're good.
Check in on Facebook, you're good. I checked in on Ellis Island. We good. No, but is that where you immigrate to?
Yeah, I mean, they used to take immigrants there, check them for lice or whatever, and then make them sign a piece of paper that said, this is what your name is going to be. And then, welcome, come on.
You're a bricklayer? Your new name is Brickman. You were a baker? Your new name is Baker. That's interesting.
Huh. Smith?
So, would you say you're...
A lot of Smiths.
You're right. A lot of people good working with metal.
Yeah.
Would you say you're good at working with sneezes? Going by your last name?
It was sneezes.
Sure. I got your name for you, pal. Let's go with this.
You got a pocket full of posies over there? You killing people left and right, sprinkling the plague.
Ashes, baby.
Yeah. Woo! I murdered a ton of people.
So, did you ever look at the immigration report from 2015, according to the UN?
Oh, no.
Okay, so type in Wikipedia list of sovereign states and dependent territories by immigrant population. You don't have to type that in.
Immigration report, National Conference of State Legislature? No, maybe not. No, maybe.
Sure. It's Wikipedia list of sovereign states and dependent territories by immigrant population.
All sovereign state you. Can't
Maybe.
spell that.
Anyway, it's the amount of your populace that's foreign-born versus home-born.
Holy crap. That's amazing to me.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So tell the audience what you're looking at.
So the foreign-born...
United States...
It's number one. The foreign-born population
is number one by a lot.
It's 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's weird because I don't feel like we have a problem now. Even though we're 20% foreign-born with like 46 million people.
Yeah.
That's...
And climbing.
It's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
20% of the U.S. population is foreign-born. So wait, that's in the world. What's the next highest group of people? There's got to be like someone with like 15% or 19%,
10
right?
maybe.
Maybe 10?
Yeah.
Germany, folks, with 5%.
Yeah. Of world foreign-born population. So they say of total population, of world foreign-born population. So I guess it's a worldly number. So is it
a percentage of the country or a percentage of...
I don't understand the stat, honestly, because it's like Vatican City, 100% of its population, of total population. I guess you can't be born in the Vatican if you sort by total population. How bizarre is that? A country that exists by itself with nobody ever being born there because they're all priests and they can't impregnate
have sex.
Little boys.
Exactly. But
yeah. Oh, sorry. No, I'll cover that. I'll cover that up. Don't worry, guys. I'll cover it up.
See what you did there. What's interesting, though, United States, 20%. Next closest country, Germany, 5. Russia, 4.8. Saudi Arabia, 3.9. United Kingdom, 3.5. United Arab Emirates,
UAE,
3.3. Like, all these countries are like 1% and below, like a ton of them. So then we'll go down a little further. It has emigration, which is how much of your country leaves and goes and lives in other countries.
What, does it really? Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, check it out.
I don't even know these.
Because they go and live in other countries. One of the highest is Albania. 28% of their populace goes and lives somewhere else because they don't want to live in Albania. What am I going to say to that? No, stay home.
Albania's great. It's got that thing that your mother does with the cabbage and the goat milk.
For Animaniacs, I feel like they make an Albania joke. I feel like there's bologna in our slacks.
Well, it's like the Kazakhstan joke, you know? Borat, the whole movie.
Hold on, let's see Kazakhstan if it's in here. Oh, Kazakhstan. 19%. Actually, what's the United States at? What's our emigration number? Do you leave in the U.S. to go live places too?
I don't know. Does that
Oh my
United States?
God!
What?
Less than 1%.
People like it here, apparently?
Apparently, we're like the best country in the world. I can't even think of we're the worst country in the world, but everyone wants to come here and no one wants to leave. Is that bizarre? That's crazy. There's got to be a country. Wallis and Futuna. That doesn't.
I don't even know these countries. We're getting to the point where we need to change the topic.
We have to, but oh my God, hold on. Tokelau, 61% of the population does not live there anymore. It's an island off of Australia. It's like out in the Pacific. It doesn't even.
Yeah, let's talk about economic opportunity, I guess. Because the countries that are mostly being emigrated from, they're
have no opportunity.
Yeah, lacking opportunity, and they're poor. So the people that come here are searching for, if they're young males, it's usually like a strategic a job, so they keep them employed, making money, so they can feed themselves. So those people probably aren't very harmful if they're trying to make their ends meet. And then families, which are also evading, persecution. They're trying to do right. So we're
Dudley do right, right, from Canada. I know.
So there's like a focus on the Mexican immigration with the wall, and
that is a very high focus for whatever reason. Did you know immigration from Mexico has actually been on the decline since 2009?
Yeah, it's like reduced by like 10 or 20%. It's not bad at all.
In fact, many of the people who are going through Mexico are from Central America.
Yeah, there's like I think like the Guatemalan crisis and those people in the caravan.
Oh, if ICE is watching, my company, we employ like 19 Guatemalans that are not documented. You can come to my work. What am I going to do? Stop you? Check it out. Send your best agents, pay them full time. Come to my work. It's Germantown. Head there. It's good.
So we hardly ever talk about so you mentioned like the people with the money and people who are educated are just like, come on in, It's like the immigrants, they're taking like 2 slots of jobs, really. It's like you have the farm workers.
Bottom rung?
Yeah, which the quote unquote jobs that Americans aren't willing to do. I don't know about that. I don't think anyone's ever taken a poll.
Sounds like right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever taken a poll of like, do you want to do this farming job? And someone's like, nah. Like, how many people are like, nah, I don't have any money, but nah.
Who's doing farming jobs in general? You're right.
Yeah, so there are stats that like a lot of farms would fold if they had to pay a decent wage to the people that were actually legal citizens. And it's like, it's a significant percentage, which is kind of sad. But again,
it is.
I don't know. Cost of living, relative wages. I don't know. It's a tough thing. But the other sector is the people that are like becoming super educated, like foreigners, especially like I don't want to narrow a significant portion of the population that are like Indian, but Indians, I'm gonna say it, like they become engineers and doctors. Like there might be like they know the language, but their barrier is still there, so they're capable of doing like tech support, or they're being an engineer or a programmer or a doctor. You run into a lot of really highly educated Indians who are immigrants. It's like we don't talk about the people who are coming over in other ways, like the H-2Bs, the overstaying their visas.
Employment-based, family-based, per visa, refugees, investors. Right.
Yeah, so the vision of fear is that like someone's going to take your job, and when they say your job, I don't think about my job. I was like, I'm highly educated and I have a very technical job, but it turns out that it's polar. It's like the people who are completely uneducated and then the people who are super educated but can't communicate. It's like those people, I actually understand that because I've run into a lot of programmers who are very good.
Communicate anyway.
Yeah, they can only communicate in code.
Right. They just can't communicate in general.
Yeah, but they're good at their job. It's just they can't communicate how to do it or what they're doing or how to work together. So it's like they are coming for my job, but the government doesn't care about that because they're making money off of those immigrants.
You're right.
Yeah.
So it does boil down to money. Did you come across sanctuary cities or all that?
Oh, I heard about like Phoenix. A lot of Phoenix is like mostly like foreigners, like immigrants, and then also McAllen. McAllen has a lot of like
I
immigration
don't know
people.
where that is.
No,
That
McAllen,
sounds sick.
Texas. It's in Texas. It's a border city. It's the one that
Philadelphia
Trump
is
visited.
a sanctuary city.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, does this have a different
The,
definition than what I'm thinking?
No, Donnie Trump had some words with our mayor, I believe, where he said, "We'll stop funding you," because what it is we run into a problem between federal, state, and local municipalities, where federal says anyone who doesn't have a visa, anyone who doesn't have an expired green card, anyone who's staying too long, anyone who's we're kicking out. I'm going to send ICE. The best way to put it is that the federal government moves much slower. So local government or state government may pick up immigrants, may pick up refugees, may decide to house them for a while before federal gives it the okay, before federal vets them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they do their own rules. Like the federal's like, hey, we have to wait 100 days. We have to check this, and this.
So
it would take forever. So local or state governments are like, we're letting them in. We're doing this with them. It's okay.
So a sanctuary city is where they let them in? A lot of them in?
Correct. They let them in. There's an allotment. There's still an amount. They still are checked on. But then there comes a gray area where if they do anything illegal, let's say they turn on red and a cop pulls them over, all they've done is turn on red. So the cop's writing them a ticket. But if they run their name and everything else, they're not legal here in the United States yet because the federal hasn't caught up yet. So what happens is they're taken back to the office, the precinct. ICE or someone of that ilk, a federal agency, will say, hold on to him. We need to come check on him, see if we need to deport him. We have to get our ducks in a row. I want to see what kind of visa he has, what's going on. Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is the problem that most people argument. Like the argument is that like these people are just coming into our country all the time. Like we don't know how to protect it against the threat of our of the wall. Like not having a wall, they're all going to come in. They're all just going to be everywhere. I don't know what to do. So like I don't know that that's actually happening in such a way that it's like they're overflowing the borders. I don't think it's
like the White Walkers.
Yeah.
When they wake up and they're running at the wall and it's hard to protect because they keep coming back and they're breaking through and they got the wood and they're pulling it apart and all these immigrants are coming in and they're spraying everything and every time they kill one of our people they wake up as an immigrant and it's like, oh my god, they made my cousin an immigrant. Right, but no, probably not. It has more to do with messy red tape.
Yeah, it's tracking them through the country because you have to make sure that they're actually an immigrant where they are. Can you find them? And then if they're not acting right, can you get them out of your country?
What's number one? Are they paying money to the government?
Are they actually employed?
Taxes.
Yeah.
Forget that. The taxes is all they care about. It's 100% about money. It has nothing to do with anything else. The government's not like, whoa, our citizens are in danger. They're like, whoa, are they paying federal withholding? Do they got Social Security? I need to know what kind of taxes I'm getting from these folks.
So let's talk about like the drain on the system, because like there are drawbacks to having a lot of immigrants.
Of course,
they usually don't pay tax because they're getting paid under the table. Then if they have welfare or like some sort of government support, like the other people of the country are paying for that. And then medical care, like if they're like border hospitals probably have a huge issue.
If you don't have a Social Security number, can you get welfare?
I don't know that you. I think you can have support. Like there's other. This is exactly what like a rehabilitation counselor will do. Like they'll try to find you employment if you need help. And a lot of like immigrants will go say, I need help finding a job because, and then like, I don't know that they're allowed to ask whether they're an American citizen at that moment, but they'll still be a drain on the resources because they'll distract people from the process of finding employment for those who are rightful citizens.
It's a pretty weak argument, by the way.
Yeah, it's a little convoluted.
I mean, it's not zero. I didn't say it's a null argument. I just mean it's fairly weak.
Yeah. So there's also like the medical side of things. Like if someone like comes across the border and like needs medical help, eventually it doesn't happen to be like, I'm at the border, I need medical help right now. It'd be like, I came out of the country like a year ago. Now I have cancer, treat me. The hospitals aren't allowed to say, nah, I don't know you. not allowed to say get out. Like they have to
We
treat
should
them
do
for
a whole
like
episode on healthcare.
We should do a whole episode on healthcare. I'm gonna write that down in my Asana notes. Plug. I wish they would pay us for the amount of plugs we've done.
I wish I would check Asana.
Yeah. Okay, the Asana that I use.
I do check if you tell me to check.
Oh, it's
Sometimes.
okay, Nick. I forgive you for all of your faults
My sins.
associated with Asana. I Asana you of your faults.
Absolve.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing?
You've been Asana.
Here's a real question. Who's a bigger group of sinners? Immigrants or non-immigrants?
So if you define sinners by the people that have been convicted of a crime...
No.
Yeah.
Of sin. Of sin.
Wait.
In God's eyes.
Well, I'm going to use it by the definition of committing a crime in the United States because I have this stat. So, like, if you're an average citizen in the United States, actually, I don't know if this incorporates immigrants or not. I don't think it does. I'm going to use it to my advantage. I think 8% of the population has committed a crime as a felony.
Whoa, felony?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, but not been
You're part of the 8%.
Are you convicted or committing?
Convict. Well, I guess if you were not convicted, it doesn't count. I don't know how they could count it at the 8%.
Anyway, no, I've never done anything illegal, folks.
Yeah.
Woo!
So they found that native-born people, 8%, probably convicted of a felony.
Sure.
Immigrants, what percentage do you think that is? Of all those rapists and terrorists, all the terrorists that were Saudi-born and bombed the towers and killed 3,000 people?
90%. 90% of every immigrant comes here is a criminal. Yeah, all of them.
No, they're mostly like native-born Americans or like Saudis. That's how it kind of works. So terrorists,
sure, 90%,
not many
90%.
How many Mexican terrorists do you know? Name
100.
Julio. Jose, terrorists. Who knows?
So wait, what was the number?
4%. It was
half.
Yeah, immigrants are more likely to start a business, or equally likely to start a business.
Well, think of this. They don't want to get in trouble because they'll get deported.
Their asses
They're trying to do good. They want to make money. That's why they came here. I don't get it.
Ooh.
How your drinks feeling? Good?
Strong. What are the babies they like if they come across the border and they're pregnant and they try to have a baby so that it's American?
Have the baby in the United States?
There's a name for it though. It's not like DACA. I don't think that counts as DACA because if you're born in the United States, you're a citizen of the United States, right?
I don't know. Well, think about this. Isn't there baby tourism or something like that? That's a thing, right?
That was a thing for like the Chinese. The Chinese when they had a second child,
100%.
They would come here to have a baby because they couldn't have it in their other country. They couldn't document it in their other country.
What's that called?
Baby tourism. Yeah, it was.
Hell yeah! Oh, I got it. I cracked my neck. We're good.
We're back. We're back in the game.
We're back, folks. I just woke up. What happened?
Ooh. In most situations, any child that is born in the United States or any of its territories is automatically given American citizenship.
Oh, you gotta go to the Virgin Islands, baby. Talking Virgin Islands. Boom.
What is this rip on Trump now?
It's really weird. I was gonna be like, the episode's winding down. What do we really want to talk about?
Trump. Trump-a-dump-dump.
Trump.
His name really isn't Trump. He changed it from Drumpf. Because that's...
Did he, ironically enough, how many of his wives got green cards from him?
How many? Oh, let's look at this up here.
I mean, think about
Italian.
it.
She's Italian, right?
I have no clue what nationality she is. Nor the last one. The irony is he's keeping immigrants.
Got a green card in 2001, married Trump and ... ellipses. They might have had a kid. I don't know if they did or not.
I can't remember.
Donnie Jr., is that part of her offspring?
It's
It's not?
Well, wait. Didn't she have the 3 by one and the 1 by another? Is this the one that had Donnie Jr.? I
The
guess.
family? Is it a family immigrating to the country?
Hmm.
Oh, she was a model. That's. Are you hot and sexy? Come right in. Check mark. Yeah. Okay. Green card. She got a green card in 2001.
Of course she did. Good lord. So here's my question: do you think the guy is
Wealthy? No.
actually? Do you?
No, I don't think he is. I heard a story
So you
about
think
how
it's
he had multiple failed businesses, and he also
in
had
Atlantic City?
his casino
I
was
know
failing.
actual constructors who've dealt with him, and he claimed he was dissatisfied with the job afterwards, so he would not pay in full for it because he would like make up defects. Like he'd be like, "No, the ground wasn't as perfect as I thought. There's a defect in the marble over here. I thought the bench was going to be farther. This is not a complete job. I'm unsatisfactory. Take me to court." And he's been taken to court probably thousands of times.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Mhm.
His mother was also born in Scotland, so she's an immigrant.
Really? What immigrant, dude? What a
Yeah.
foreigner! Oh.
And his casino, I heard a story that
Fun.
his father went and got chips, like several millions in chips, just to make sure it stayed afloat. So he gave him essentially a free loan to continue functioning because he was bankrupt.
Oh, I did hear this. It wasn't 100 million. It was it a million? 100,000? Anyway, here's the weirdest thing about Trump. Most Trump supporters are like
3.5 million chips.
okay, there you go, 3.5 million. Most Trump supporters are people who are, I would call them white. I would call them.
I would call them white.
I would definitely call them.
Yeah, they're mostly white.
I would call them
Tribalistic.
Do it yourself. Don't let immigrants in. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work your hardest.
Just like Trump did.
With your dad's $3.5 million advance.
And your education and your social, you're affluent in such a way that allows you to do these things. And then you're not building yourself up. There's no way that he came from nothing. He wasn't a poor child from the Midwest.
He was rich.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing with people like him. I wish I found the quote. He's like, it's like they hate rich people, but they love Trump. And it's like, well, here.
I don't know. He wouldn't release his income statements.
Tax. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know that he's making that much money. He might actually be using the presidency to make money. He said he was declining the income, which you can't do. He might have already known. I think he has enough lawyers to know that he can't do certain things. So if like he's doing a political move like, oh, I don't want to be paid $400,000 as a president of the United States because I don't need it. It's like, no, you can't do that. That's not legal. You have to accept it. He's like, oh, dang.
I think he's had a lot of lawyers help him with that.
I've also read that like he goes to a lot of golf courses, his golf courses, and then he has all the Secret Service people like stay in the golf course and makes the government pay for his own golf course.
Yeah.
Makes money off of that.
I think don't they go to his private golf course?
They do.
That should be.
That gotta be illegal. Yeah.
I know. You would think. Let's talk about him from a strictly immigration factor.
Like his Trump Tower and his golden toilet.
I don't know why poor people from the Midwest think this is their guy. Like, it seems like the opposite.
Yeah, I don't think that he's ever done anything like break a horse.
I don't think he's ever worked in his life. Do you think he's ever worked?
Let's look at like hard jobs.
He's gone to work. Do you think he's ever actually worked? Has he ever cleaned a dish? Has my man ever picked up a box? Has he ever had to deliver anything?
Google says no.
It's the weirdest thing. I don't know that I trust Google, but I am 100% sure they're accurate right there. I'm trying to find the quote.
I'm pretty sure that everything he's doing now is some sort of like scheme to make him wealthier. Or something he promised because it was bullshit, and he thought it would get him into office. He's just trying to execute the things he promised, even though there's no... So, I did write this down. So, like, a lot of the people that are voting for him, and I'm not calling people out, because there's probably like half the country that's like, whoa, Trump, you did an amazing job. We don't know anything about what's going on. I would say, like, most of the people are sheltered. They don't have enough knowledge or facts or science. And they're supporting someone that has no... I wrote reason twice. That has no reason. Like, no logic.
This is the reason.
There's no understanding. And there's also no diplomacy there. So there's, like, there's no reason for him to be president other than people think that he has a lot of money, which he hasn't proven. All the other presidents before him released their income statements to show that they were solvent in some way, or maybe they don't have interest in certain assets.
They don't have hidden secrets, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure he has a lot of hidden secrets. He probably leveraged himself through his other companies to prove that, you know, he's solvent, but he probably isn't if you really look at it.
All right, here. I'll kind of round it out here.
Yeah.
Mariana must be an area in like Maryland or the Midwest or something that voted for Trump, like a very Mariana.
I don't know.
Most Mariana residents support Trump's border wall, his key demand in Shutdown, and don't blame him for the fight. But Crystal Minton, a secretary at the prison who is also a single mother caring for disabled parents, has a somewhat different reaction, one that reveals an essential truth about the core Trump political belief. I voted for him, and he's the one who's doing this, Minton told Mizell. I thought he was going to do good things. He's not hurting the people he needs to be hurting.
He's not hurting the people he needs to be hurt. Not hurting the people who need to be hurt.
But
what?
Everyone who voted for him just figured he'd hurt the people they hate.
Tribalistic nature, yeah. Because they look like Trump, maybe.
Immigrants, maybe
orange tint to their
African Americans, maybe people who don't speak English too well, maybe people who...
You ever see that video of the Trump car that has all the bumper stickers like Trump Pence, like
geez.
They park it in a ghetto, and not to say that most black people are from ghettos, but they are, and they all start smashing the car. It's like they hate Trump so much because Trump, he's a xenophobe. Anything that isn't him, he doesn't like. The Muslims, I don't think he likes blacks. I'm gonna say it. He probably doesn't like blacks. Anybody that's outside this country he doesn't like. It's a problem. He doesn't. I don't know how you can be so wealthy and be so afraid of people. Probably because he's not wealthy,
and because he's never had to work. Again, this all comes back to working class.
Yeah.
Like when I work with people, I work with the people who work with their hands, like people who deliver stuff, people who
you can be impressed by somebody because they can do something that you never saw before, or do it in a certain way, or just because they're a damn hard worker. Like they just want to get stuff done, and you see that on the value of people. I think it's kind of like MLK. It's like you don't judge people by the color of their skin, but by the character within. Mm-hmm. It's like you got to be able to work with them to understand that there's character within a lot of people that it'll surprise you. And the immigrants, there's a lot of character there that, you know, they'll work harder than almost anybody. It's honestly...
I mean, they range the gamut from lazy to the hardest working people to the smartest people, you know. Mm-hmm. The craziest is there's a Family Guy joke where there's like a guy who's a fisherman immigrant, and I don't even know what nationality he's supposed to represent, but they're like, hey, good job getting that fish. And he's like, in my last country, I was a doctor. I mean, you don't know. I mean, you could be dealing with the smartest person in the world. You could be dealing with an a-hole. You could be dealing with all sorts of people. Because someone's an immigrant, you don't know. And they're not given ample opportunity here. I'm not saying we should open the borders and let every single friggin' person who can walk in, but so cut them all off before they even get here.
If you were an immigrant, what would be your argument? Like, well, how would you sell you?
My last country was screwing me. I'm getting effed. No, honestly, that's because that's what a lot of these people.
Fuck those guys. You're my new guy.
No, but I mean, think about it. Listen, I work hard. I have a family. I'm getting effed in this country. They're run by drug dealers, pederasts. Who knows? I mean, I could go on. It's the most corrupt thing I've ever seen. I want to come to America where everything is beautiful and Donald Trump and okay, I'm going back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen that video of people? I don't know which border it was, but there were refugees trying to cross over this like DMZ zone where they had 3 fences that were like barbed wire and they're like 20 feet tall and they probably have like 20 feet between each fence. They would all do it all at once. I think it was like an African country that was like trying to get out, and they would like be like chanting and screaming and yelling, and like they get so hyped up that like they would try to just get like one person across this like DMZ zone. So they would crawl on like top of the fence, all 20, like there's like dozens of them, like shaking the fence. They get somebody over, and then like finally like scamper, trying to avoid the guards, and then they would break through. And like one person would make it to the other side. By the time they got to the other side,
all cheer.
Yeah, they all cheer. But also the guards on the other side, like they could have stopped that person, but they said, this guy, he's got something.
What's like escaping from Batman, and that
the pit,
Casa Doom or whatever the hell it was called.
Oh no, I have to look that up now. Bane's pit,
like.
Talking.
Ultimately, what we're talking about, though, is that everyone's a person. It doesn't matter where you're from. This country's literally founded on immigration, immigrants, people not from this country. We already have more immigrants than any other country. What this country was started on. It's kind of the reason it's so great. So to try and stop that entirely is almost like...
They call that a Lazarus pit.
It's weird because it's like 100 years ago. Oh, I want to get to America. I want to get to America. I want to get to America. I'm in America. I'm in America. This is great. I had children. I'm in America. This is great. Okay, let's stop accepting new people. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird in that you benefited from it, but once you did, you were like, let's shut off the benefit valve. We're done.
I'm very much on the side of making sure people are all well, like you said, melting pot. Like people are well integrated. Like be aware of other people's cultures, tolerance to their cultures. As long as something isn't malicious, then it should be completely fine. It should be accepted. Mm-hmm. If someone's not coming to the country with a will to do someone harm, come on in. Like you may be a drain on my resources, but my resources, they're built on a couple centuries of having wealth and like people trying to do the best. And if you're not trying to do the best, then you can get out. But we're doing something here. It's like, I think everyone in the world is trying to do something good, except for those who probably are like tilting the tides. And then you can kind of just push those people to the side. But overall, I think people are mostly trying to do good. I think
that's well put.
Yeah.
Criminals are still criminals. We'll still find people who are committing crimes. It's not like we're like, whoa, we see Americans committing crimes. I can get them. The illegal immigrants, I can't catch them. You'll catch them. And in fact, it's a lower percentage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think I'm going to keep drinking.
To sum it all up, we've been drinking.
We're not that... So did you see that guy? We're going to change that. You see that guy that was for the Eagles, the Twitch streamer? Just to clarify, since most people are playing that. He was cheering on the Eagles, and then right as I don't know if they won or lost. I forget how. It's 3 weeks ago, so I think they won one game. But he drank so much that he passed out. I guess if you pass out on a Twitch stream, it promotes drinking to an excess. I'm not drinking to an excess. I'm having a moderate amount. But if you pass out, it's not a very good sign. So they banned him for a week.
A week? Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. Enough time to stream the Eagles again, apparently. But yeah, they're getting moral with it. They're getting selective. Any water?
Yeah, some water. Water.
What did we cover? Wait. There's something else. Maybe I'll look at my sheet here. The only thing is really the shutdown. If it affects people, it affects the contractors who are working for the federal employees. I worked for NASA for 10 years. So
it's a federal company, correct?
Yeah, the civil servants. A lot of people have a misnomer that if you're back paid, you're fine. The civil servants are back paid. The contractors have to justify the reason that they worked over that period of time. So they have to make sure that they had work that they could do for almost a month now. If they can't justify that they didn't do work for a month after they were directed, so civil servants can't tell them what to do. They can't call them. You can't email them. You can't even get like a notion. You're not supposed to like meet them and say like, hey, what can I do? Like you're supposed to just have something to do for a month. Otherwise, you don't get paid. Or
weird.
Yeah, if you're essential, you do get paid because you're needed. If you're not essential,
right.
You can maybe justify it unless you're like the lower rung. If you're a like a grounds person, I don't think you're essential. You probably don't get paid for the month that you didn't get to work. Also, you know, it's tough. Like you'd have to have a month worth of budget. You'd have to cover yourself for a month. There are many people that budget that month in advance.
I'm laughing at people having a month extra.
Buffer. Yeah. Or more because it's still going. Not getting paid for, how would you feel not getting paid for a month? Or two?
Good. See, I feel good. I call my mom and dad. They were like, we have $3.4 million for you. And I'm like, oh, good for you.
I thought it was 3.5.
Me and Trumpy. You know what it was?
Ooh, I own a casino in the back of my garage.
Just a regular American boy trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Donnie Trump story. Here's my final question before we... Oh, go ahead.
The crazy part is that the people that support him will believe anything to support his cause. But anything that you say that refutes his cause, it's like, I don't know about that. It's like, he went to like the best boarding school in like all of New York. It's like, I'm not sure. I'm
not sure your facts are right.
He knew like all the influential people from like, you know, grade school. And it's like,
he used his bootstraps to take himself through boarding school.
Yeah. He kept lifting. Sure. He kept lifting all the way to the top of Trump Tower.
My man only lifts
hamburgers and got cheeseburgers. A touch. I've never seen hamburgers him poop or pee. He comes diamonds. Little diamond dust. That's why Melania's. Okay, we can cut it off here because I'm getting.
But we gotta say goodnight.
We do.
Yeah. The folk at home.
The folk.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in tonight. If you have political opinions, they're probably wrong.
We
put them in the bottom down there.
Need to set them straight. Just type them up in a nice little letter. We actually, if someone were to send us all of their political opinions, we might spend an episode reading them. We might. I think we will actually. I'm going to say we will.
Abortion, boom. Partial birth abortion, boom.
We control your body, your soul, your mind, your heart. All of it.
Boom. We got it. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. I like when you tune in. I like you. I like you a lot. You in America.
If ever you were convicted of a crime wrongly and needed to escape to someplace in Mexico, you could probably go to Zihuatanejo because it's a glorious place to be, apparently, from a novel written a long time ago and done by a famous director.
Was it a novel before?
Yeah, I think it was. It was a short story by somebody's name.
It's a longer movie.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We like the hell out of you.
Steven Spielberg.
Like the frick out of you. Steven Spielberg. All the keywords. Sanctuary cities.
Immigrant.
That's it. Emigrant.
Immigrant. Ding.